That was a really good play by Faye, but if I'm boost, I don't know what the Gyarados set is. If it's full pure support, that's horrible.
Week 2, and we are fighting Ursaluna as well as Dozogiri, Palmot, Cinderace, and Inteleon. We have lots of scary stuff. The last 3 I mentioned are tough because of their natural speed. This is, first of all, we're fighting Faye. Faye is a good friend of Dozen. He is running some sort of Psychic Terrain, Trick Room offense. So you have Indeedee to set the Psychic Terrain. You have Drifblim, who can be pretty annoying with Psychic Seed and Unburden, which enables it to quickly spread burns or sap or strength sap. Kingambit serves as an Intimidate deterrent. Moltres G looks like a scary tank. And Weirdier is just weird. Now obviously Ursaluna will be near impossible to switch into, but this could be the time for Gyarados to shine as my primary water type over Shifu, because we have Intimidate. Yeah, there's Kingambit, but I'll have Counterplay prep. Also, luckily, I've had a decent amount of experience maneuvering Sandy Shocks to beat the Gyarados combo. So with Psychic Terrain covering Faye's heaviest hitters, that means I can't rely on Fake Out or Aqua Jet to deal with the threat. What I do notice is that this team is very physically inclined, with only Inteleon, Indeedee, and I guess Moltres as like hard hitters. So, oh yeah, also Faye's normal resist doesn't look that impressive. There's only Kingambit, Drifblim, and Houndstone. So I want to try to exploit that by using the strongest normal type move in the game. So let's get into the team. First, of course, is the Premier Dondozo and Geary check. I'm well aware of Endure Geary plus Explosion Drifblim strat, so Slowbro will come with the Mirror Herb to take on Dozo's boost. If it is unaware, that may pose a problem, but Stored Power will still do decent damage thanks to its massive 220 base power, and it can be potentially bolstered by Psychic Terrain. Body Press also takes advantage of the defense boost and hits Ursaluna for super effective damage. Slack Off keeps me healthy. I can heal off the explosion damage. I can stall out the Dozo. And my last move will be Hydro Pump for a bigger hit on Cinderace and Luna. Max defense with Oblivious means I can slack off in peace. And Terra Fighting to power up Press and to dodge the weaknesses to Kingambit and Palmot. Next is Sandy Shocks, who funnily enough has almost the same set as last time, except the special defense is moved into defense, and Discharge is switched to T-Bolt. The defense is for increasing its survival rate against all of the physical attackers, and when I Terra into Grass, walling Dozo and Luna will be even easier. T-Bolt is because I don't need to fish for paras this time, and I don't want to accidentally trigger Palmot's Vault Absorb, or hit my partner. This time, Gravity is not meant to support itself, but to support Maushold's Population Bomb, which is why I need Booster Energy to move before Maushold. Shocks pairs well with Maushold because of the super effective stab moves on Kingambit and Drifblim. Those are Faye's best normal checks. He has Houndstone, which also doesn't have impressive special defense, so Shocks can deal with that too. Next up, we have Chestnut. It makes its debut as another physical wall. He performs much better than Slowbro if Mirror Herb isn't triggered, as it shrugs off attacks from Pawmot and is immune to Cinderace's Pyro Ball and Drifblim's Shadow Ball, thanks to Bulletproof. While Expanding Force Indeedee thankfully no longer exists, it still has Dazzling Gleam and Hyper Voice, which is why I have Wide Guard. This also protects my mons from Guts Earthquake from Luna. And lastly, the Iron Defense and Body Press form me a setup sweeper. Crunch is if I end up 1v1ing a ghost type, like Drifblim. Terra Dark allows me to dodge the Psychic from Indeedee, and the Speed EVs allow me to outspeed -2 Inteleon. Maushold will be my main damage dealer. With Life Orb, Technician, and Terra Normal, it is capable of OPOing Faye's entire draft with Population Bomb. Not much else to say here. Bite is for Drifblim. Encore punishes Drifblim if it goes for an Unburdened Tailwind. Protect is because this is VGC. It is a bit of an overstatement saying Population Bomb can one-hit KO his entire draft, but you know it's going to be doing some big damage. Weavile was added to the team this week, and coincidentally, it does really well versus Faye here. I know some people use free agent trades to counter team, but I promise I only picked Weavile because I didn't want to repeat Tauros Blaze. I was recommended to own an Ice type, and I had a great nickname for it. Anyway, Dark Stab is great versus all possible Trick Room setters, but with Night Slash as the only decent Dark move, I knew Weavile wouldn't be doing numbers by itself, so Terra Dark felt mandatory. Icicle Crash gets a nice safety net from gravity support, and I'd rather get a 30% chance to flinch than removing Psychic Terrain because flinching Luna, Terra Dozo, or a Trick Room setter could end the game. Low Kick is if Luna Terra Normals or something Terra Steals. Counter is a funny tech meant to OPO any physical attackers if I'm caught at a bad position. Fake Out isn't needed due to Psychic Terrain, and Protect isn't needed because I want Weavile to be constantly putting out damage for 2-hit KOs or 1-hit KOs. Focus Sash serves as my form of survival, and it works well with counter. Finally, we have Spectre the Gyarados, the crazy Spectre set. This is pure support Gyarados, meant to soften the hits of Faye's strong physical attackers so that shocks or my body pressers can run rampant. Icy Wind is my speed control for Maushold and Chestnut. Chilling Water is the funniest part of this set and is meant to power down targets further. Helping Hand is the help damage output on my side, and Protect, of course, for survival. Hopefully, Gyarados can bait Drifblim to waste a turn, Wisping or Strength Sapping it. I am aware Clear Amulet completely foils this set, but Gyarados guarantees that Ursaluna will start at +0, no matter what item it powers itself up with. Intimidate also punishes Dozo for choosing to run unaware, so now its only form of damage is Body Press, which half of my mons can handle. Defense EVs are for more physical tanking, but I wanted to run Calm to take advantage of Gara's natural special ball to wall Inteleon. Terra Steel makes it wall Indeedee, as it can't Mystical Fire anymore, and gives me an extra turn against Luna, who would currently try to hit me with Facade. Helmet allows me to continually chip phase attackers, and as this set is pretty passive without it. So let's get to the battle. The one thing I was glad about was no Kingambit, but the no Dozo Geary really caught me off guard. Faye probably knew that I had many outs against it, So this means that Slowbro is almost useless. But it appears that their mode will be Trick Room. If featuring Luna, Indeedee, Weirdeer, or it could be Tailwind featuring Indeedee, Drifblim, and Pawmot. But my lead was already set in stone. I wanted to see how much damage Shocks plus Mouse can do right off the bat. Weavile and Chestnut will be in the back, as I can see them as good cleaners in this scenario. So there's the Pawmot and the Weirdeer. Turn 1 looked to me like a Fake Out Trick Room combo, so I immediately wanted to punish the Fake Out with Encore. And it works out. I felt that Pawmot would Fake Out the Shocks because it's a ground type, and Maushold didn't seem threatening, especially if you saw how I used it last week as a pure support mod. But it turns out Weirdeer is Scarf Thunderwave. What else can I say? Weird. So now Maushold is as good as dead, but at least I get a free kill. Now Faye is forced to double switch. I was really contemplating which spot would be Drifblim. So I Population Bomb into Pawmot. In the end, I still missed the 50-50. There goes the gravity. But Population Bomb runs into Rocky Helmet. So it was so sad watching Mouse go. Even if I Terra'd, it would have been a 1-for-1 trade. So now Weavile is up, and I do threaten the Oko on both Mons, and outspeed both. However, we can't forget about Terra, and last week they brought Terra Fairy and Indeedee to handle an Urshifu Dart. So I double into Indeedee expecting Terra Fairy Trick Room. Inteleon could protect, but it didn't, as you see. And the play ended up working okay. But the only downside has Sandy Shocks going down, which was a trade. So now we're left with these two. This is a little dicey. Chestnut is not that specially bulky. I need the Terra here to dodge the Ice Beam or the Psychic. So I'm forced to Terra the Chestnut here, but the Weirdeer Terra Fairies. The Terra Fairy Blast is very bad for me. Now it looks like GG. That was a well-timed Fairy Blast. There's even Pawmot in the back. And sadly, he used Fake Out in the Psychic Terrain. So now he's reminded that Fake Out won't work. That could have been a nice free turn in the future, but now he's aware, so oh well. So that was first game goes to Pay. Weirdeer really messed me up that game, so I need to take adjustments to handle that mon specifically. So this time, I decided to lead Shocks and Gyarados. This means that Weirdeer is completely useless on lead, and I can focus my firepower on it since it is Scarf. Gyarados also does well in powering down Tailwind mode and Luna Trick Room mode, so Shocks can get a lot of work done. Once again, Weavile and Chestnut is in the back. I protect Shocks this turn because I want to scout what Inteleon could do. It could Terra Grass, Protect, or Swap. Gyara doesn't mind getting parried and can shrug off anything from both Mons, so I can go for an Icy Wind to break a possible Sash on Inteleon. Inteleon does switch, and Weirdeer tricks my Gyara. Thankfully, Icy Wind hits Luna, and Luna is of course Flame Orb. Weirdeer continues to weird me out with its set, but I can predict that its last move has to be Trick Room. It would have T-bolted me if it had it. Gyara had to leave because I wanted to be locked into Chilling Water, which in combination with Intimidate should allow Shocks to live versus Luna until Trick Room lets out. So I want to sack off Weavile. But instead, Ursaluna goes for an interesting Protect, and Weirder just does extra Sensory. So now I'm in a really good position. Weirder revealed its 4 moves, now I know it doesn't have Protect, and I don't want it intimidating Weavile later. So I ignore the potential Terra Fairy and double into it. Luna is running away for some reason. Must be the Weavile scaring it. So this play pays off well. So now we are in the classic scenario of the current VGC. Faye has 3 options. Option A is Trick Room plus Protect, which is solid with Terra Fairy on Indeedee, but very predictable. I can just double target the Indeedee. Option B is Follow Me plus Attack, and option C is Trick Room plus Attack. I tried to predict the third possibility by crashing on Luna and Earth powering Indeedee. This was kind of a mid-ground play, and it turns out he did option B, Follow Me plus Attack. So, bye-bye Weavile. It was a bad mid-ground play, but I made it based on the idea that Indeedee would Terra Fairy. But at least Gyarados comes out and can half Luna's attack for Shocks. So this turn goes better than expected. There is a Terra Grass, but Luna does not try to KO Shocks. Earth Power thankfully gets rid of Indeedee, so Chilling Water comes out into Luna. And as you can see, it goes for a Thunder Punch. So, now that Luna is half in its attack, it doesn't seem to be that much of a threat. I can just focus on Inteleon. And this is a free Thunderbolt, because Inteleon can't Terra anymore. And Inteleon, if Inteleon is sashed, we have Chilling Water. It's not sashed. And now all that's left is Ursaluna that keeps getting powered down. So with that, that is game 2 goes to me. We do get to scout for some damage here. We can see that Body Press wasn't that powerful, but a -3 Facade was also not that powerful. So that's game 2 for me. Game 3, this time I lead Gyarados plus Weavile, because I noticed that Shocks makes a better cleaner than Weavile, who is better at threatening the Trick Room setters. So over here, I simply crash the Blim and swap to Shocks to take the electric move. But Drifblim Terra Fairies, And that crash did not do much at all. On the bright side, at least Faye's most least offensive Mon, Herod. But now with this Trick Room, both of my Mons moved last. So you see that focus energy? I was expecting Will-O-Wisp into Weavile, and maybe Close Combat into Weavile as well. But this focus energy is very interesting. I just use counter with Weavile because Close Combat into it looks really obvious. Pawmot does trigger my Sash, and Earth Power doesn't do that much. Pawmot has a Sash of its own. So this is a very weird Drifblim set. I can only expect Shadow Ball, but either way, Faye should be targeting both my Mons, so Shock should be able to live one hit and pick off the Pawmot, while Weavile will just die. They actually just switched out the Pawmot, and Drifblim, you're not gonna believe this. It lives the Icicle Crash, and it Baton Passes into Inteleon. Now I see what they did there, and my attacks bounce off both of them. This is a terrible spot, as Ursaluna and Inteleon are slower than both of my Mons, so they get to move first. The Sniper boosted Inteleon is also gonna be insane. So I came up with an idea. I needed to get rid of Shocks so that booster energy will wear out. Then Shocks will outslow Inteleon while Trick Room is up. Thankfully, I have a safe switch in, and Weavile should die this turn. So that Snipe Shot was too strong, but at least Weavile was able to go down. So now I have some leverage here. I let Gyarados protect, and I trusted in Beanstalk to take any hit from Ursaluna at -1. There's the Facade. I do live, and we know Inteleon can't Sash and can't Terra, so there's the Inteleon kill. That's good for us. So now I think Chestnut just sweeps. I don't think Drifblim can Air Slash. So all it should have is Shadow Ball, which is blocked by Bulletproof. So I just double targeted the Pawmot. No, I didn't. I switched. Cause yeah, I don't want to get rid of my Intimidate that fast. I had full faith Chestnut sweeps here. But no, I didn't even attack at all. Pawmot uses my passiveness to Revival Blessing. Now things are very scary again. So over here, I just need to keep Chestnut alive. Everything will be taken care of, except for the Pawmot, and nice Rocky Helmet kill there. So all that's left is the Drifblim, which I can ignore, and the Inteleon. I need to Terra to survive. No crit. Icy Wind is good here, so if I flinch twice, I can get off 2 Icy Winds and outspeed, but I don't need to flinch. And there you have it. The support Gyarados and the Chestnut won the game, thanks to Terra Dark. So looking back, letting Sandy Shocks take the Facade was a huge risk. I was assuming only Facade or Earthquake, which I lived both. But I believe Faye mentioned possibly Headlong Rush. He could have Headlong Rushed Shocks in Game 3. That would have sealed the deal. But he didn't realize just how defensive I made my Shocks, so that the mid-ground facade didn't play out well. It sucks that Mousehole couldn't get to wall break, but I had to play the slower game with Gyarados to ensure that I have an easier time cleaning. And man, did Gyarados really put in work. 3 kills off of support moves and keeping Luna honest. No shade to Dozen for calling that set trash in the beginning. He did end up saying it worked. Now I learned that support Gyarados is a real thing. And that is a huge difference it has over Urshifu. Oh yeah, speaking of Dozen, that'll be my opponent for next week. So it's time to battle the guy who took Spectrier, Grimmsnarl from my clan draft.